And hello, my fellow nerds out there. It's Oracle Nerd Richie, and welcome back to our Wonderland. Last video, we just barely avoided some being called the Collector, who I guess almost tricked us. So now we're in on another dock. Where this leads, I have no idea, but we're gonna be finding out. Genzo removes his cap and runs his hand through his hair again and again. Droplets of sweat bounce off and onto the wooden planks. Path seems to lead this way. I point past the end of the dock and towards where the valley of dirt winds itself off and away from the river, bordered on either side by more trees. Yeah, but Genzo's voice lacks its usual vivacity. Vivacity? I have no idea how to say that word. We started our trek away from the river without another word. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. I'm gonna stop before I get copyrighted. Walking down a dreamlike path in a world of fantasy with no idea where to go. Or what to expect next. I'm not sure how long we walk. 20 minutes, 30, an hour? Time feels strange, almost as though it's not passing at all. Yet when I think back to the cottage of discovering the hole in the tree, it already feels like a lifetime ago. And strangely disconnected? I try to think about my apartment, about work, about the party. They all feel fake. Did any of that really happen? Of course it did. That's my life. That's me. I look down at my hands as though I might reveal an answer to some unspoken question. And my mind drifts back to the voice in the tree. What do you wish for more than anything else in the whole world? I don't know. I still don't know. I glance over at Genzo, who has his hands shoved in his pockets and his gaze pointed at his toes. The cut on his cheek has stopped bleeding and is instead forming a thin, dark scab across the flesh. Ugh. Why had we stopped seeing so much of each other? Why had I stopped seeing so much of any of them? I can't remember the last time I hung out with any of them one-on-one, just spending time together, talking. I've been busy. Had I, though? I wince, not any busier than normal. It's certainly not so busy that I couldn't have taken some occasional time off my schedule. I never reach out to anyone of my own accord. And even when they'd reach out to me, I'd usually just make up some excuse. Some friend. Even now, I only know the basics of what they do and how they live their lives. Of their goals, ambitions, hopes, dreams, secrets. I can't help but wonder if things wouldn't have turned out differently. Would have turned out differently had I actually made an effort. If somehow we could have avoided this. I sigh and rub my eyes, not worth agonizing over it now. Not when there's much worse things to be agonizing over. All of a sudden, my footsteps change into timber. I glance down the dirt path, and has given way to cobblestones. That's interesting. I stop for a moment, studying the new pavement. Hope that means we're finally getting somewhere. Genzo takes this opportunity to survey the landscape. Wherever that somewhere is. Through the foliage veil like the upcut bed. Why was I so tired this morning? In bend, I spy a spattering of bright colors, too bright even for otherworldly trees. There's something there. I expend the energy for a short jog, taking me around the trees and in front of what I can only describe as a gigantic billboard. I stop, take it in, and feel my eyes grow about 5 sizes larger. Oh? Jesus! Genzo trots up next to me equally as stupefied. It's Gidget! Only larger than life and wearing very little clothing. Oh gosh. She's lying on her side, head propped up on her hand, and holding a martini glass in the other. She's winking at the camera. At us. Next to her, the words, "Come visit Wonderland's hottest goddess." Oh gosh. I think we all know where this is going.
I think we all know where this is going, so let's just skip to the end.
I hope it isn't going where I think it's going. My jaw goes slack. That's a side of Gidget I've never seen before. Genzo's brow reaches for the sky. Reach for the sky. He looks so bemused than anything. You can say that again. A big side. I wonder. I mean the dev actually did specifically state that it doesn't explicitly show anything. It doesn't show that kind of thing. So thankfully I won't have to be blurring anything. If I do have to blur something, I will. Don't worry. Yeah. I mean, a really big. Okay, I get it. Genzo laughs. I, however, feel mildly ill. Gidget's beautiful. She always has been. I love being around her. She's fun, smart, ambitious, not afraid to take risks. And to be honest, if she were to ask me, I wouldn't mind being more. I could see myself supporting her, rooting for her. Could see the two of us maybe curled up on the couch. Could see us frantically doing our shopping together. But thinking about her like this makes my stomach twist. I don't know why. And going further than that, trying to somehow imagine us in the same bed, us touching each other? I shake my head. Ugh. To say it makes me feel uncomfortable would be an understatement. I agree with you, boy. As an aromantic, asexual person, I can kind of agree with them. Well, kind of, not really. There are other reasons for that. I'm not gonna get into it. I turn away from the billboard, looking instead further up the path. It's bordered by smaller placards that stick up out of the ground like signposts. All of them sport Gidget. Some in gorgeous dresses, some in bright summer ensembles, some in ridiculous gifts that look like they could come straight out of a fantasy or a horror movie. I can agree with the horror. Damn, girl's clearly been busy. Genzo whistles beneath his breath. I guess this means Gidget's here too. You don't say. So we make our way down the Gidget-like path. Her smile follows us, sometimes sweet, sometimes sultry, and sometimes downright sinful. I can't help but feel like every single one of them is aimed straight at me. Ooh! 20 placards later sees us at the entrance to a small village. I survey the quaint white and dark wood cottages, and puffing chimneys and curving cobblestone roads of vine-dappled walls. I remember this, though not quite as clearly as the Kitty Cruise, more like out-of-focus snapshots. And ice cream? Somehow I definitely remember eating ice cream here before. I'm suddenly feeling super hungry. Genzo scratches his belly. Pushing the thought of sweets out of my head, I start down the main road. For once, we're not the only ones here. People are milling about, walking from building to building. A boy even rides on his bike, a satchel of mail hanging off his shoulder. I can't read. None of them so much as glance up as we look around. I round the next corner and stop. A crowd of people is gathered outside one of the more ornate-looking homes. There's a good 15 to 20 of them, and though they whisper amongst themselves occasionally, their attention seems fixed on the door. Who's the celebrity? Genzo slides up next to me. I don't know. I step out of the way at the ring of the bicycle bell, and the boy from earlier goes gliding past. My stomach gurgles. Somehow I'm pretty sure I know who it is. It's Gidget! Good morning, darlings. I turn at the voice to see the door open. Gidget has her hands raised above her head to greet the crowd, and previously quiet gathering erupts in cheers and applause. The sticky feeling in my gut forms itself into a 2-ton boulder. Thank you so much for seeing me off today. Another shoot, can you believe it? The scouts here just can't keep their eyes off me. She practically dances down the steps, and crowds parting to allow her room. Immediately, there's hands reaching out, thrusting papers and books for her to sign, trying to catch a passing touch of her arm or shoulder. We love you, Gidget! Marry me, Gidget! Gidget's mouth curls in an over-exaggerated frown as she waltzes through. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in quite a rush today, she pauses. Then smiles with a wink. But I suppose 1 or 2 autographs wouldn't hurt. The crowd goes wild, flinging their pens and photos that expose skin at her with even more vengeance. Me first, Gidget. I'm your #1 fan, Gidget. She turns around and the person standing nearest her, a teenage girl with a bouncy ponytail, and decked out in pins, stickers, accessories, all featuring Gidget's name or face. The girl wrings her hands in excitement as Gidget signs her name in an autograph book. Hey, Gidget! Only this time the call comes from right next to me, and I turn to see Genzo with his hands cupped around his mouth. Gidget turns and stops, then beams. Guys! She barely has time to return to the girl's autograph book before she's dashing towards us. You're here! I can't believe it! Could say the same thing about you, Genzo laughs. We had no idea who we'd find down here. Up close, Gidget looks different. Except I can't put my finger on how exactly. I don't know, maybe it's the dress? Hello? Only that she seems more perfect? Like, I can't spot a single imperfection on her. Her skin is gleaming, her blue eyes actually seem to be sparkling. And even her hair is flawless, not a single lock is out of place. Quite the coincidence, huh? You look great. Oh, I actually don't know what to choose. Let's go ahead and say, you look great. You look, great, I finally manage. Gidget beams, then grows instantly shy. I mean, have to, keep up appearances. Who knew they'd love me down here? They sure seem to. We saw all of your handiwork on the walk up. Genzo loops his fingers behind his neck. This only seems to embarrass her further. Oh gosh, right, I kind of forgot about all those. They went a little overboard. You're, doing modeling gigs then? I asked somewhat tentatively. Yeah, crazy, huh? She starts, then stops. Gaze shooting to her watch. Oh crap, that reminds me, I'm already late for my next one. Come down with me? It's just over the pier in town. Afterwards we can grab some drinks at the inn. Catch up? I glance at Genzo, who glances at me and shrugs. Sure, why not? Because what else can I say? I'm honestly still confused by this whole situation. She grins. Amazing. Come on then, this way. Then starts off down the road not forgetting to throw a parting wave to the crowd, still camped outside the door as she passes. Catch you all later. Genzo scratches his forehead. Seems to be doing well for herself, huh? You could say that. We walk after her, and I can't help but notice the aura of the crowd grow dark as we pass. One of the older women even glares at me as I turn my head to look. Just keep walking, Genzo hisses. I don't need to be told twice, my pace quickening by about half a step. Gidget leads us down the curved road and past a few more buildings that look just familiar enough to jog my memory. Past the next bend in the buildings up ahead to reveal a long cobblestone pier lined with small fishing boats. A team of photographers is already setting up their gear near the water. Beautiful, isn't it? Gidget turns back towards us. The perfect photo shoot. I'm actually surprised I haven't done one here yet. It's certainly photogenic. Genzo squints as he takes in the scenery. I don't disagree, but my head is still filled with the visions of giant eyeball creatures and whatever it was that happened back at the Kitty Cruise, making it a bit hard for me to appreciate the view. Feel free to look around during the shoot. I don't, I don't think it'll be that long. Gidget bites down on her lip with eager smile, then dashes off towards the crew. She's really enjoying this. They do seem to like her. I throw a glance back towards the way that we came, half expecting to see that woman in the crowd from earlier following us. Fortunately, the path is clear. Pretty obvious what she wished for, huh? I don't respond, instead biting down my lip and watching the crew finish setting up. One of them, the makeup lady, I can only guess, is already checking Gidget over, touching up her face, getting her in position. The shoot starts, and Gidget is on fire. I've never seen her look so alive, so happy, having an absolute time of her life. They started with a few shots with her back to the boats, then walking along the pier, sitting atop the railing, and gazing across the lake. Okay, pretty standard. But despite her constant smile, I can't stop feeling an unease clawing at my belly. Why is she here? Why is she doing this? She's not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be here. How can she act this normal? Like this is normal. Why are you doing this, Gidget? Except that this time, the voice in my head from one of my memories, bubbling up, floating to the surface, swirling around the base of my brain. Why are you doing this, Gidget? Oh? Gidget looks at me in confusion. Her brows furrow as her teeth gnaw at the inside of her cheek. What do you mean? I thought you'd be happy for me. It had been fall of senior year, the annual school hackathon. The one all the college reps attend to scout out new talent. It was supposed to be me that won it. Oh, he was jealous. Me that got all the scholarship offers. Me that had been working towards every year of high school. You ruined everything. What are you talking about? Gidget's eyes quiver. She looks like she's about to cry. You're not even good at coding. You only started because I did. That's not true. I like coding too. But you just had to go and take away everything that's important to me. The reps liked your project too. Coding is for boys. This stops her. Her lips are trembling. Everybody already thinks you're a boy. It's embarrassing. You should do something for girls. You'd be prettier then. Dude, the old version of Iggy was an actual dick. I ain't gonna lie. I don't feel sorry for Iggy at all. I almost call him Giggy. I don't feel sorry for Iggy at all if he did this. I feel sorry for Gidget. Now tears are falling in big, salty rivers that stream down her cheeks. She runs away without saying another word. Horrible. I've been so horrible. Even after all these years, I still cringe just thinking about it. I hadn't meant a single word of it. It had been the anger talking. But I never apologized, never taken it back. And Gidget had changed after that. Grown her hair out, got interested in fashion and dresses, always asking me how she looked. She stopped coding altogether. I glanced back up at the present day Gidget, currently resting her chin on her palm and shooting a smoky glare at the camera as her hair dances in the light breeze. I'm sorry, Gidget. No sooner does the thought enter my head than Gidget glances up, beams, and begins waving me over. I pause, unsure, point to myself as though there could be anything else she's pointing to. When she nods, I shuffle over awkwardly. She jumps down off the railing and I approach. Join me for a shot. What? What? My voice cracks. Yeah, come on, just for fun. Her arm sneaks its way around mine. I feel her tugging me towards the camera. Besides, who wouldn't want to shoot this handsome stud, huh? I throw a look of helplessness back at Genzo, who just laughs. Make him swoon, you animal! Can I just say that Genzo is a bit like me? I ain't gonna lie about that, he's a little like me. Seems like I don't have much choice. They positioned us on the inner side of a little blue loop. Its sail flapping gently in the breeze. I don't even have a chance to ask what I'm supposed to do before the cameras are snapping like crazy. How many pictures are they taking? 100 a minute? The first 500 or so are just gonna be me looking like a deer in headlights. Fortunately, Gidget knows what to do. Oh. Aww! She grabs my arm, pulls me close, taps my opposite shoulder to get me to spin around and realize it's... When I realize it's her, I smile, laugh, and feel some sort of tension leave my shoulders. She gives me a playful shove, and gets me moving, points towards an especially oblong cloud in the sky and to get me looking skyward. And all the while, the camera shoot. This is how it works then, is it? I hope that one or two of these thousands of shots actually look decent. Gidget laces her arms around mine, pulling it back in and plants a kiss on my cheek. Aww, I feel my face heat up. It's so sweet! Her body is so close that I can feel her breath on my face, on my neck. When she brings her arms around my shoulder, I in a tight side squeeze, I can feel her chest press against my arm. My stomach flops. Bitter nausea works its way up to the base of my throat. My eyes go to Genzo. He's standing a short ways behind the photographer, his hands covered deep in his pockets, just staring at us. For once, he's not cracking his usual smile. I step away, chin curled inward, and my hand on my head. Maybe that's enough time in the spotlight for me, I cough. I wipe at my nose. Gidget just laughs. You never were one for the attention. She throws me a wink. Thanks for obliging me. Though, I'm almost done here. Then we can head back. I nod somewhat apologetically, chin about to... Oh, whoops. Chin about to disappear in my clavicle and scoot out of view of the cameras. Once clear, my stomach slowly normalizes, and I take off my glasses to give my face a few good rubs. So I take it you won't be coming back to shoot in swimsuit edition, eh? An all too familiar elbow nudge to the ribs pulls me back to the moment. Very funny. I take the opportunity to clean my glasses. 2 quick breaths across the lenses and a solid rub with the hem of my shirt. I place them back in my nose. Blink. By the time I look over, Genzo's gone back to watching Gidget, who's now walking along the cobbles, looking back over her shoulder at the cameras. I check out the opposite direction, back towards the winding roads and their surrounding cottages. Every now and then, something will jump out that triggers a flash of memory. Flowers on the sill of the bakery, the outdoor seating area of the cafe, with its red and wave-striped tablecloths. Even the smell, that faint, sickly aroma of honey and sugar that dances up and down on my tongue. Something catches my eye. The girl from earlier, the one Gidget gave her autograph to. She's walking by, clutching a little book, a spring in her step and a bounce in her ponytail. The people here sure seem to like Gidget. I catch myself, roll my eyes. Of course I do. It's pretty obvious what Gidget wished for. It's not like any of this is real. No matter how much Gidget needs to enjoy it. I suck my bottom lip up between my teeth. Just when I'm about to turn back to the shoot, a flash of movement stops me in my tracks. There's another girl approaching the ponytail, hunched over and moving quickly, very quickly, closer. They're nearing a small alleyway between 2 of the buildings. Ponytail walks in front of it, none the wiser. And the other girl pounces. Oh God. Okay, I feel like we're gonna be running into some crazy fans already. Like, you probably know how some people like go crazy when it comes to like their favorite celebrities and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be one of those cases. She throws herself at Ponytail, pushing her to the alleyway with a stifled squawk. Her hand comes up, but there's a flash. A knife? Then thrust down. Pigtail's legs jump. Another thrust, up and down, until Ponytail's legs are slumped on the ground, motionless. My jaw goes slack. The victorious girl emerges, autograph book clutched in her red splotched hands. Then walks off, leaning Ponytail splayed and unmoving in the alley. I raise my hand, blink, try to form words to describe what just happened, to alert the others. But by this point, the camera crew is packing up, and no one's paying attention to my incoherent mumbling. Genzo? I try. What's up, Biggs? Iggy, Genzo, we're done. We're done. Gidget comes bouncing back, so full of energy. Thanks so much for waiting. Let's head back. They love me at the end. They'll give us all free drinks. She grabs my wrist, hugging me along with the rest of the crew. All Genzo could do is shoot me a look of amusement as he takes up the beer. Oh! Hey! This is cool music. Drink up, boys, down the house. Oh, God. A busty woman in the flower print dress, white apron, slams 2 extra large beers down on the table in front of Genzo and me. Told you so. Gidget sticks her tongue out in amusement across from us, already nursing her own cocktail. Don't mind if I do. Genzo promptly grabs his and downs about half the glass. I'm considerably more reserved on my own, clutching it in both hands and bringing it to my lips, tasting it just enough for the foam to decorate the bottom of my nose. The inn is bustling with patrons. Men playing cards, groups of friends laughing and drinking. Even the table not far behind us is filled with what I can assume are fans of Gidget. They sit watching us, scribbling down notes for every reaction. It's a cozy place, music sprinkling in through the old phonograph, warm candles beaming down from the wooden chandeliers overhead. Stairs in the corner that lead up to what I can assume are overnight rooms you can book at the counter. Sure didn't have anything like this here when we were kids. Genzo laughs and wipes at his mouth. I glance around, taking in the ambience. I mean, I guess we did always know this place changed. I always just kind of knew what you needed, even beyond the wishes, I mean. Genzo crosses his fingers over his heart and lowers his head. Thank you for knowing what I need. Thank you for knowing what I need. He promptly takes another swig. I turn my attention back to Gidget. She's just watching the two of us with a smile. So, how long have you been here then? Kinda seems like you've made yourself at home. Gidget curls a lock of her hair on her finger. To be honest, I don't even know. The days kinda meld together a bit here a bit. It hadn't been that long. Plus I'm having a blast, so I haven't really felt the need to come running back, you know? I force an awkward smile. Yeah, sure. You definitely have made it. The only reception Iggy and I got was a friendly game of impale the humans from our old friends the rabbits. Oh, and welcome back tasting of the world's largest eyeball. Gidget's eyes go wide. What are you talking about? You mean you weren't killed about 20 times on your way here? I take another hesitant sip of my beer. God no! I was welcomed like a queen! Best day of my life in recent history. But, well, besides every day since, gotta admit, life is good down here. I try to hide a grimace with a glance at Genzo. He scratches his head in wonder. Guess, it's a recent change then? I finally muse. Though now I'm really starting to wonder just how long Gidget's been down here. I have no idea what the time difference is between this world and ours, if this world is even the right terminology for where we are. But it certainly seems to pass quicker here, given that we only saw Gidget 2 days ago back home. Potentially much quicker. You, seen anyone else? Like Bucks, maybe? We thought, she might be down here. Bucks? No. But the door was already open when Orlam and I found it. Oh, fuck, he's down here? Genzo groans. I should have known something stunk. Yeah, the two of us just kind of met? Like, in the woods? I don't even remember. Gidget furrows her brows. Feels like so long ago now. I just remember really feeling like I needed to check out the woods. And then when I got there, Orlam was there too. And when we went to check out the door, well, obviously you know what happened. Same thing happened with us. I watch as Genzo raises his hand to alert the bartender for another beer. You think Bucks is down here too, though? Gidget tilts her head and takes a drink. Don't know. But if we call all the rest of us, the table goes quiet. And the same woman shows back up with Genzo's next beer, slamming it down with enough force to make my own glass rattle. Drink up, cutie! Yes, ma'am! Genzo salutes. Gidget laughs. See, Genzo has the right idea. You should enjoy yourself. Stop looking so gloomy. I mean, look where we are now. We are this place where dreams literally come true. Genzo's leaning down with his mouth in the rim of the glass, slurping the excess foam. Yeah, just don't get too used to it. Else reality's gonna fuck you up in the ass even harder. Gidget's smile sinks as her eyes turn sharp. She shoots a glare in Gidget's direction. Genzo's right, Gidget's right. Oh god, I have to choose one? Oh no! I mean, they both kind of just made the same point. Oh god, okay, I'm gonna say real quick before we make this decision. Let's just go with Gidget for now. I don't know, it might be a wrong move, but let's just go with Gidget for now. I'll go with Genzo next time, I think. Gidget's right, I guess. This does feel a bit of a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Maybe we should be enjoying ourselves a bit more. Gidget's smile returns instantly, her eyes softening in my direction. Yo, Earth to Iggy, you've already forgotten about multiple brushes with death? I grimace. Well, I mean, besides all of that, but we're safe now here, right? And this place is, well, it's nice, right? It is. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I've been this happy. Every day is like a dream come true. Genzo rolls his eyes. Oh, so you're gonna spend your whole life down here? Is that it? Gidget huffs. What's your problem? You certainly seem to be benefiting from this too, aren't you? Why do you have to be so pissy? Maybe because I know none of this is real. So the last thing I want to get used to is this. He jabs them towards his eyes across his arms in a huff. Oh, because he was blind in the overworld, and in Wonderland he's not blind anymore. Gidget grumbles at something under her breath, just puffed out in indignation. When do you plan on going back? I asked somewhat attentively. Whenever I want, Gidget responds almost instantly. Why? What does it matter to you? I raise my hands defensively. It doesn't. I try to laugh it off. Just, wondering about your plans is all. Gidget's smile returns, as sickly sweet as the scent of honey tickling my nose. I'll go back eventually. I'm just enjoying my time here is all. What can I say? This place is granted my biggest wish. She leans forward, one hand moving across the table and touches my wrist, and it seems about to grant another. Aww. I stare at her hand. Genzo stares too, even in the middle of gulping down his beer. I pull away, shoving my hands to my lap. My face feels hot, and my eyes stay fixated on the bottom of my glass. I'm gonna go have a smoke. Genzo breaks the silence before pushing up and away from the table. The alcohol, He throws a glance at me, then Gidget, then adjusts his cap and walks off to the exit. My belly is flip-flopping something awful now. Just looking at the beer left in my glass makes me nauseous. I force myself to look up and Gidget's still smiling. Hey, I honestly just bushed. Genzo and I, feels like we've been through hell and back just getting here. You could really use some, sleep. My knee is hopping like a grasshopper under the table. Oh, of course! There's rooms upstairs. I'm sure Mrs. Graham would be fine with you using them. Thanks, yeah. I try to grin as I push myself to my feet. It's just, you know how it goes. It certainly sounds like you had a rough time. Yeah, I pause, reach for my beer, pull my hand back, bring my hand up to say something lower it. Anyways, let's talk more tomorrow. Sure thing! I half stumble away from the table. I feel Gidget's eyes on my back the entire way up. Up the counter. My head feels blurry. Thankfully, a quick chat with the aforementioned Miss Graham is all I need to secure myself a room at the top of the steps. She grabs the key and leads me upstairs and away from the noisy bar, opening up the door to reveal a cozy room outfitted with a bed, wardrobe, and desk. Ooh, okay, it does look pretty cozy. But if things look cozy in a horror game, you know it's gonna have a lot of bullshit. You have you have a nice night now. She bids before leaving me with the key and shutting the door. Quiet. It's wonderfully quiet. I hadn't realized just how loud it was downstairs until now. And the beautiful silence does wonders to my chest. I could practically feel it unclench itself muscle by muscle as I let out my longest breath of my life. I meandered towards the bed. It's decorated with thick red quilt crowned to the top by two fluffy-looking pillows. I sit down and feel the mattress curve delightfully beneath me, then take the opportunity to look out the window at the foot of my bed. It's dark now. I can only see the streetlights illuminating the cobblestones now. Below, a few people are milling about. I search again, though, then realize I'm on the opposite side of the building, so there's no point. I sit back and examine the room instead. The walls have been built with thick, rounded logs. It reminds me of the old cabin I stayed at during camp one summer. Rustic. My body is still really relishing in the quiet, and I kick off my shoes and swing my legs up onto the bed. God, it feels good to get off my feet. I let my eyes wander towards the ceiling, in that brown swath of nothingness I wish my brain would get lost in. There's a knock on the door. I grimace, but somehow it's not like I didn't know I was coming. I swing back around reluctantly, slide my feet back in my shoes. Coming. I shuffle towards the door, fumble with the doorknob, pull it open. Hey, Gidget! Gidget's shy smile greets me on the other side. Oh wait, this is the music that was playing when they were talking before, right? Hey, I say. Hey, she says back. Sorry, I mean, is it okay? I just wanted to talk. Oh, sure. I move to the side so she can come in. She walks into the middle of the room and looks around. These rooms are nice, yeah? I stayed in one of my first couple nights here, before everyone prepared that place for me in town. Yeah, it's nice. I stand in the doorway, unsure what to do. Then I finally slide my way towards the bed. Come on, Iggy, go get her, Tiger. I perch myself on the edge, expecting her to take the chair in front of the desk. She sits next to me on the bed instead. I don't move. My face feels like it's frozen in place. Pretty crazy, right? All of this? Yeah. To think that this place we went to as kids still exists. Heck, that it always existed. I think part of me tried to write it off, chalk it up to being kids being kids, make believe and all that. Yeah, I know what you mean. I lean forward and perch my elbows on my thighs, hands clasped. But it's real, all of it, and it's given us another chance. I haven't been looking at her, but at this point I turn. Her gaze is pointing up towards the ceiling, as though trying to peer past it and straight into the stars. Has it though? Another chance? It's always when there's two choices it matters what I say. I feel like anything I say could kill me at any moment, so... let's go with another chance? Another chance? What do you mean? She brings a hand up, curling the lock of her hair behind her ear. I don't know, just that, have you ever felt like maybe you should have done something differently? I stay silent, tapping my thumbs together. That maybe you'd been smarter, or been more courageous, or really fought for that thing you want, that maybe things would have been turned out differently? I run a hand through my hair. I think probably everyone feels the same way to an extent. Yeah, I guess. There aren't any do-overs in life. A laugh. But I don't know, maybe that's why this feels so significant to me. The world's way of giving me a chance to change things. She looks over to me with this. Her eyes are slightly strained. There's a sort of longing to her gaze. I can't decide if it makes me curious or uncomfortable. You're gonna stay down here then? I finally ask. Her lips curl in an embarrassed smile. No, I mean, just for a little while is all. Besides, it's giving me good practice. Modeling, I mean. I've had so many shoots down here, my confidence feels through the roof. By the time I head back, I'll be a pro. There won't be an agent anywhere I can't impress. Yeah, that's great, yeah. Her smile twitches. You know, I thought you'd be happy for me. What do you mean? Am I not pretty now? I've got a whole fucking village telling me I'm beautiful, her eyes flash. I sit up with a start, lips pressed tight. I mean, I think you're gorgeous, but I always have. Her face softens, melts. I can almost see her eyes start to quiver. Really? A red flush spreads across her cheek. Is that true? Beads of sweat are beginning to break out of my forehead. I wipe them away as I run a hand through my hair. I mean, sure. She looks down at her lap, brings her hands together, plates with her thumbs. Iggy, there's actually something I've been meaning to tell you for a long time. Come on, just say it, man. You can't keep waiting with this kind of thing. My stomach is starting to flip-flop again. Oh, really? What's that? She looks away shyly, then turns back, curling a lock of hair around her finger. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this. Maybe we should have said that Genzo was right. It's, well, considering where we are and all that, maybe I should just show you. If I'm gonna have to blur something, I will. I blink in confusion. What do you... Before I can finish, she moves forward, eliminating the distance between us. My boy! I'm so proud of you! Her hands go to my cheeks and she tugs me down, bringing our lips together in a bruising kiss. My system temporarily goes into shock. When I don't do anything, she presses harder, moving her lips against mine, parting just long enough to let out a gasp of hot air against my mouth before diving back in, tongue roving and searching and slithering across my gums. The sweat from my forehead has returned, now replicating itself across my neck and back. Okay, honestly, I feel bad for my boy now. I know the image doesn't show it, but I bet his face is completely red. Her hands, her fingers, slide against my cheeks, work down my throat. And she follows with her mouth, sucking and licking down the length of my neck as she moans into my skin. Gidget, I don't think we... My lips are trembling. My whole body is trembling. I suddenly feel incredibly cold, tendrils of icy electricity making my nerves and muscles jump. I don't like this. I don't like this. Oh, my poor dude. Please don't. But her hand is already roving. I can feel it descending across my chest, across my stomach. Oh, I'm already uncomfortable with this. Her fingers reach my rough denim of my jeans. First light dances to her fingertips, then cupping, massaging, working through the fabric. Tears spring in the corners of my eyes. Gidget, stop! She doesn't stop. She runs against me, sucking out hard on my neck. Gidget, stop! Whew. Jesus. I finally wrench myself away, half falling off the bed in the process. My body is shaking uncontrollably now. Gidget, however, can only look at me in shock. What's wrong? What is it? Did I do something wrong? I take a moment, trying to find my breath. I clench my fist to hide my quivering fingers. I rub my face. It's not that I don't like you. I do. Heck, I could even, I don't know, love you maybe? If it came to that, I don't know. I bite down on my tongue. But I can't do that. Do what? I sigh in my own incompetence, in forming words and turning my gaze towards the ceiling. It makes me really uncomfortable. Maybe I just need more time. I don't know. Gidget's quiet for a moment still. Then she sits back. I see, she says finally. So that's how it is. I turn in confusion, but Gidget's looking away now, gazing off towards the far wall. What is? This is just your way of saying you don't want to be more than friends, isn't it? No, it's not. Oh, shut up. You like me. But you don't want to fuck me? Is that it? Man, what man doesn't want to fuck a girl he likes? I mean, you can kind of start off slow. It's called just take it slow. I'm pretty sure you've heard it thousands of times in your life. So yeah, but take this as a lesson, guys. If you like somebody, don't just go for it. Take your time. Get to know them first. I sit back up on the bed, writing myself. My voice seems to crack with every word. I said maybe I just need more time is all. I'm honestly really confused too. I've never really been in this situation before. I don't really know what's wrong with me. Stop with the fucking excuses. The sharpness of her tone catches me off guard, and I quiet instantly. The temperature of the room feels like it's dropped about 20 degrees. Her shoulders are hunched, her voice quiet. It was just too much to ask, wasn't it? What was? I whisper. Even after everything I've done? A chill bends and curves its way down my spine. But this one little thing, it was just too fucking much, wasn't it? She spins back towards me, only her face is different, contorted. That's not the real Gidget, is it? Her lips pulled back in a snarl that seems to stretch her entire face. Her pupils like pinpricks in her sunken sockets. Gidget? I fly backwards. But Gidget is already crawling towards me like some kind of spider. Her face twisted and warped. Guess you were just too good for me. Was that it? Your pure, pristine... Jesus Christ, I am not going to be saying anything that she says. She grabs a chunk of my hair, tugs and twists it. The pain is like a spark of electricity running across my scalp, and my eyes immediately go blurry with tears. Christ. She yanks me across the bed, and I go down hard. Hard enough that it makes even the soft mattress enough to knock the wind out of me. I try to sit up, to get away. Oh God, she's strangling him. I really managed to turn around into my back before Gidget's on top of me, slamming her seat down on my stomach as her hands are on my throat. Oh, Jesus Christ. Gidget! My voice starts to strain her grip. I'll never be good enough for you, will I, Iggy? She snarls, leaning forward until her full upper weight is sent to the top of my throat. Maybe no one is good enough for you. Is that it? Perfect little Iggy? Christ, come on, struggle off, dude! But I can't even form words now. My whole head feels like it's about to explode from the pressure. I can't breathe. She stops for a moment, her scowl is softening. Then glances around the room, gaze stopping on the desk. Her smile returns. Oh shit. She slides off of me in the bed and I instantly gasp, desperately pulling the air to my lungs. My head spins, and I bring my hand to my throat, futile attempts to relieve my lingering pain. I hear the door opening, footsteps, and the creak of the bed. By the time my head is clear to open my eyes to register what's happening, Gidget is looming over me again, this time with a pair of long scissors in hand. Oh God, no, come on. Gidget? My body moves on instinct to the side of the blade. I jerk forward, reach out, but attempt to pull myself away, even through the haze of pain. She's on top of me again, heavy weight in my chest, a palm on my forehead pushing me down, forcing my head into the mattress. Perfect little Iggy, too good to fuck anyone. I can't think of something you won't be needing then. Oh God, no. Do not do what I think you're about to do. Oh God, no. Shout for help, fight back. Oh, I have a choice. I think shouting for help would be futile, so I think fighting back would... If someone's going to kill you, you might as well go down swinging. You might as well go down with a fight, okay? That's pretty much the best option you can do. I kind of want to do shout for help to see what happens, but let's just fight back. Fight back, Iggy! Sheer adrenaline taking over me, I jerk forward, hands swinging towards her face. I manage to scratch her cheek. She growls and shoves me back to the mattress. I try again, using everything to have to launch myself from my elbow and push her off. Stay down! She snaps and lunges forward. Suddenly, everything stops. Both of us freeze. The scissors are inside me. A cold chill dances up my arms, along the back of my neck. Gidget looks stunned at first, as though she can't believe what she just... Then her look of shock twists into a smile. Now look what you did, she hisses through her curled lips. She jerks the scissors against me, blades further piercing my skin. Gidget! I try, but my lips can't seem to find the words. Her smile widens. Another shove. Upwards this time. And the sight must amuse her because she laughs. Keeps laughing. She has a handle of scissors in both hands, face contorting. Oh, Jesus Christ! Yep, I'm definitely blurring this. And forces the blade straight up into my belly. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yep, I'm definitely gonna be blurring this. I won't do anything too uncomfortable, buddy. Don't you dare. I'm definitely gonna have to blur this. Game over. Fuck. Unfortunately, you were gutted. But Gidget only did mildly No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know that. Let's go with the last choice. Okay, last choice. Good choice. Okay. Okay, this time we call for help. Yep, there we go. Shout for help instead. Fight back anyway. Shout for help instead. I'm going with my gut on this one. My only hope is someone hears me. Help! I push through the pain crawling in my throat, voice croaking. Help me! Louder this time. Her hand leads to my forehead long enough for her to reel back and sliding across the cheek. My head shifts to the side so hard I see stars. The side of my face burns like it's on fire. Oh, shut up! There's no one here to help you. He's still struggling to get my fly open one-handed. He finally manages to wrest the bun loose. He smiles, fingers roving over my face. Oh God! At the moment the door slam rocks the room and the door flies open. Genzo, my boy! What the fuck? Genzo stands in the doorway, slack-jawed. His gaze goes from Gidget to me to the scissors. Genzo, leave us alone! Gidget's voice is a demonic growl, deep and low, echoing off the walls. I'm not sure what goes through Genzo's mind in the moment, or if anything does at all. It happens so fast. Oh, hell no! I hear him bellow. And then he's charging at us, charging straight at the bed, straight at Gidget. She doesn't have time to react. His hands hit her straight across the middle. The force of impact sends her flying. Woo! He slams into the window behind her, shattering the glass instantly. Oh, Jesus Christ! Her body lands halfway across the frame, hard. There's a nauseating squelch as the jagged shards of glass still protruding from the sill impale her. From behind, jutting up through her chest like bloody daggers. I don't move. Genzo doesn't move. We both just stare at her limp body hanging halfway out the window. Her dress looks soaked clean through. Red. So much red. It's dripping off the glass, raining down the wall, pooling on the floor. A strange sound rumbles in my chest. It builds louder and louder until it bursts from my lips. It's a groan that buzzes and whirs in my throat. I scoop back along the bed, away from the window, back until my back hits the wall. Fuck, Genzo says quietly at first, then louder. Fuck. I bring my hands to my face, my knuckles to my eyes, clenching them shut, trying to block out the scene in front of me. What do we do? Come on, Genzo, think. Genzo is smacking his head with his palms. Something loud moves downstairs. Tables and chairs creaking and toppling, sliding, grinding footsteps on the hardwood floor. Genzo twists towards the doorway, darts down into the hallway. We've got big fucking trouble on our hands, Iggy. I don't think they like that we killed their idol. I watch him take a step back, then another. Then he leaps back into the room. Just before he manages to slam the door closed, I catch a glimpse of a person. If they could even call it a person, their skin is gaunt and gray, and their eyes are puffy and red. They claw at the door. I hear low moans at the door that shakes and rattles beneath their nails. We need to get out of here, I say with a shudder. No shit, Sherlock! Genzo's glancing furtively around the room. I don't even know if the only exit is the window. I push myself shakily to my feet. There seems to be more of them outside the door now. The scratching is intensified. Genzo climbs into the bed over the window, peering around Gidget's body to search the situation outside. There's an overhang below. I think we can make the jump. But Gidget! Genzo winces. His breath hitches at his throat. I'm sorry, Gidget. Then he loops an arm around her pelvis and pushes. There's a crack, a snap, and the remaining glass breaks. Then another push, all the way this time. It sends her sliding out the window and she disappears over the edge. I hear a thud from outside as her body lands on the overhang. Come on, Genzo reaches a hand towards me. I look towards him, towards the window, then back towards the door. The door isn't gonna last long. Genzo jerks in his hand showing desperation. The door in question is visibly shaking now, lurch after lurch, sending it rattling on the hinges. I bite down on my lip and dart towards Genzo. It's at this moment that the door gives. It opens with a horrifying slam that sends the floor flying backwards and bouncing off the wall. Oh, Jesus Christ, they're zombies! And then the bodies come pouring in. There's so many of them. They crawl and lurch and moan like zombies. What? Me and Iggy sharing brain cells here. All of them with skin pulled taut across their bones and eyes sunken in pink. A whole pile of them spills over to the doorway as they clutch and crawl over each other and get inside the room. Genzo wastes no time. He grabs me around the waist, braces himself, and leaps! Shoulder first, he breaks through the remaining glass of the window frame and goes rolling out the other side, taking me with him. We hit the overhang hard. A second later, the whole thing buckles beneath us, and we go clattering to the ground below in a shower of boards and shingles. I lay there a moment, waiting for my ears to stop ringing and my body to stop screaming. Then push myself to my feet, and careful to avoid any errant nails and broken wood. Genzo groans next to me. He nurses his shoulder as he sits up. Fuck my life. But our lives are about to get a lot more fucked. The groans are loud above us, and I glance to see Gidget's rabid fans reaching and groping out through the window. Some of them are already attempting to pull themselves out after us. The situation is not much better on the ground. More gaunt faces appear around the corners of nearby buildings, limping and dragging themselves across the once cherry cobbles. Genzo, what do we do? I hiss. Fuck. He lurches to his feet, clearly in pain. But he pushes through it, eyes clearing and gaze sharpening as he looks around. And finally, come on, I have an idea. He takes off. I yelp at the sound of my body falling behind us and quickly follow. I'm not sure where we're going at first. Oh shit, not them again. We round the corner and Genzo jerks back as he approaches another swarm of clawing, reaching hands. Other way! We quickly reroute the opposite road, circling around the set of buildings that just narrowly avoiding the convergence of two more packs. Then straight on, back to the main street, groans, moans, and guttural screeches filling the air around us. The pier, we headed towards the pier, past the bakery, past the cafe. Then one more bend, the water appears, dark now, but lined with white and bobbing boats. The blue one! Genzo shouts, pointing somewhere towards the left. They're everywhere now, spilling out of alleyways, falling from windows and splat against the ground. All of them lurching and reaching, bones creaking, eyes oozing. We race to the edge, and I see the little blue sloop from earlier, a sail fluttering in the breeze. In! I don't even stop. I take a flying leap off the side of the pier and land against one of the boat's seats so hard I swear I lose consciousness in a half a second. Genzo is right behind me, a boat sloshing in the water as he comes tumbling on board. Hand in my head, I push myself back up and wait until my double vision is seized. I can actually make out the pier and the bodies swarming our way. Genzo, the rope! I try to walk forward, dizzy and wobbling. I got it! Genzo latches onto the rope and keeping the boat tight to the pier. The knot is tight, and when he can't wrest it loose, he resorts to simply yanking and jerking and tugs it sends shutters through the boat's frame. They're getting closer, almost to the water now, like a hungry wave spilling over the edge of a bucket. I bring my hands to my hair, clutching at curls. They frantically begin searching the boat for anything that might free us from the rope. There's a pile of rigging, a flare gun, a couple of spare boards. Finally, beneath the overhang, I find a small toolbox. In it, God almighty, a rigging knife! I snatch it up and fly over to Genzo, begin hacking at the rope. The individual fibers snap one by one, agonizingly slow. And it's working. Working! I raise my hand for an extra push and swing, only to find it caught midair. I look up at my wrist and snared by a set of grizzled gray fingers. I scream, jerk back. Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh god, oh god, oh god, we gotta get away! But there's already more of them, and they're crawling forward off the edge of the pier, groping and clawing at my arm, face, and hair. There's 3, 4, 5 sets of fingers wrapped around my arm now. I can feel my feet start to leave the ground. They're pulling me back. Genzo! I scream so loud I can feel my vocal cords rip. Genzo wraps his arms around my waist, digging his heels into the side of the boat. Let him go, you fuckers! The pain shoots through my shoulder and my upper arm. They're gonna rip it off! Jesus Christ! I start to hyperventilate, heart beating out of my chest. I wriggle, yank, and swat desperately from my arm as they pull and pull and pull. But even more than our latching on, form a bridge of flesh that pushed from the pier towards the boat and allowing even more of the things to crawl across. I can feel their fingers digging into my hair, my scalp, scraping my eyes and cheeks. Genzo groans behind me. Genzo groans behind me, and the pressure of my midsection builds as he clings to me tighter. Fuck! He jerks backwards. And this time the force is so great it sends the boat reeling backwards and the final remaining fibers of rope snap. The boat breaks free and the zombies latch onto me, get pulled off the pier into the water. I nearly go with them. Probably would have too if Genzo hadn't locked his legs around the underside of one of the boat's seats. I feel the arms loosen, fall away, and use a new freedom to bat frantically at the ones that still remain. Finally, the last one loses its grip, and I watch the thing sink down into the blackness outside of the boat. It's all I can do to sit there and breathe. To not collapse right then and there. That was fucking intense. My knees feel like twin piles of goo, and my arms and fingers tingle with swirling numbness. Genzo unwraps himself from my waist, sliding backwards down onto his rear end. Jesus! I follow suit, sitting shakily on one of the seats. As I'm sitting there, as I'm breathing and shuddering and taking it all in, it hits me. Tears flood my cheeks, like a river leaking down my face. My shoulders rock, chest gasping, mucus oozing down my lips. I can't stop it. It's like someone's flipped a switch and now there's no going back. Genzo pulls himself up next to me, wrapping an arm around my shoulder. Cry it out. Just cry it out. He gives my shoulder a firm squeeze. That's exactly what I do. Oh, I feel bad for my boy, dude. I feel really bad for him. We float across the water all night. We try to stay awake at first, patch ourselves up, remain vigilant, but the weary tendrils of sleep are quick to descend. I curl up. Oh, I'm tired. With my head on the pile of rigging, hugging my arms to my chest and hoping all things holy that when I wake up, I'll be back in my bed. And all this would have just been nothing but a horrible nightmare. But it's not. When I creak my blurry eyes open again, I take in the sun on the horizon. All I see is a wide swath of blue as far as the eye can see. We take turns rowing with the square boards lying in the bottom of the boat. I'm unsure if it does anything, but at least it feels more productive than sitting here twiddling our thumbs. My voice is still hoarse, my throat raw. Genzo tells me my neck looks fine, but his look of concern betrays him. I must look awful, especially with all the scratches I can feel stinging my cheeks and forehead. I can't imagine Genzo feels much better. I catch him rubbing his shoulder when he doesn't see me looking. We don't speak about what happened. That would make it too real. Instead, We sit mostly in silence, rowing, resting, watching the sun rise overhead, and then begin its slow descent back down. The sky just started to turn a soft shade of pink when Ginzo makes a noise. He points in the direction we're floating. Spires, on the horizon. Land! I smile in spite of myself. Thank fucking God. We're both set rowing now, anxious to be back on solid ground despite the fear of what might await us. Nothing could top what just happened at this point. Right? Right. The floating spires turn out to be attached to a castle. A large castle. As we row closer, it looms all the larger, soaring walls, giant towers, twisting walkways, and glittering red peaks. Surrounded on the outside of the wide moat, and even further out by the red and orange roofs of a small castle town. Genzo whistles between his teeth. Quite the hunk of architecture. Was there ever a castle here? I ask softly as I feel myself becoming much smaller in its shadow. Don't remember, but that's not saying much. I chew on the inside of my cheek. There's no flashes of memory here. Not like back in the village. We are quite a ways from the cottage now. We never have come this far before. There's a scraping rumble beneath us, and the boat slows to a stop. We've hit land. There's no dock or pier. Instead, the lake simply glides up to the bank, all like some kind of grassy beach. We hop out of the boat to the ankle-deep water, dragging it the rest of the way, not wanting to get swept back into the water lest we need it for another quick escape. My feet squish inside my shoes. It's getting pretty dark now, and I'm not too keen on walking around this place at night. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave this episode here for now. My God, a lot happened. Oh God, this is probably the most intense episode I've ever had to record for this series. Gidget's dead. We died once, but went back and then Gidget's dead. Oh God, dude. Oh, don't tell me we have to kill all our friends. Oh, that's not gonna be good. I also kind of got curious. I kind of wonder if we either called Gidget or Orlum instead of Genzo, we probably would have came here with them instead. Yeah, maybe it would have been different. I'll probably see if there's other pathways. I'll probably see if there's other pathways before then. But anyways, I'm gonna leave this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment what you think. Share this with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason.